It happened about 4 years ago, back in a quiet place called Black Ridge Hollow, somewhere deep in the woods of Oregon. Not the kind of town you pass through, the kind you don't even know exists unless you live there. The houses out there, man, they weren't normal houses. They were huge, hidden behind tall trees, long driveways, iron gates, the kind of places that look beautiful during the day, but at night, they feel different, cold, watching. There was this guy. His name was Ethan Cole, late 30s, rich, owned one of those big properties deep in the woods. He wasn't a bad guy, just careless. The kind of man who thought nothing could really go wrong. That night was a Friday. Ethan went out drinking with his friends in town. Loud bar, cheap whiskey, a lot of laughs. By midnight, he was drunk. Not blackout drunk, but enough to make bad decisions feel like good ones. Around 2 a.m., he decided to head home. The drive back was long, dark roads, no streetlights, just his headlights cutting through the trees. And the deeper he drove, the quieter it got. Too quiet. Finally, he reached his property. A massive iron gate stood at the entrance. Tall, sharp spikes lining the top. The kind of gate that says, "You don't belong here." Ethan parked his truck, reached into his pocket. Left pocket, nothing. Right pocket, nothing. He checked again. Then again, his face dropped. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. He had forgotten the key. Now, the gate wasn't just locked. It was automatic. He needed a remote, or someone inside the house to open it. In his house, it was a good distance away, too far to shout. Ethan stood there for a moment, thinking. Then he laughed, a slow, stupid laugh. I got this. Instead of calling his wife, instead of walking around, instead of just sleeping in the truck, he decided to climb the gate. Yeah, drunk logic. He grabbed onto the cold iron bars, pulled himself up. One step, then another, his boots slipping slightly against the metal, the spikes at the top. They looked sharper the closer he got. But he didn't stop. Almost there, he muttered. And then, it happened. His foot slipped, just for a second. But that was enough. His body dropped, and one of the spikes went straight through his leg. A wet sound, a sharp gasp, then silence. For a second, he didn't even understand what happened. Then the pain hit, hard, like fire shooting through his entire body. His scream cut through the woods, but no one heard. He looked down and saw it, the spike, right through his thigh, blood dripping slowly down the metal. He tried to move, but the second he did, the pain got worse, way worse. He screamed again. Now he was stuck, hanging, one leg trapped, the rest of his body dangling on the wrong side of his own gate. Minutes passed, then more minutes. His breathing got heavy. Think. He pulled out his phone, his hands shaking. He stared at the screen, his wife's name, just one call. That's all it would take. But then another thought hit him, harder than the pain. If she opens the gate, it slides, sideways, fast. He looked at his leg again, still stuck in the spike, still bleeding. No. If she opened that gate, it would move. And if it moved, that spike would tear right through his leg. He dropped the phone. Don't call. So he stayed quiet. Hours passed. The night got colder. The forest got louder. Every little sound felt closer. Branches snapping, leaves moving, something walking. Ethan tried to stay awake, but the pain, the blood loss, the cold, it was getting to him. At one point, he thought he saw something in the trees, a shape, standing there, watching. Hey, he called out weakly. No response. The shape didn't move. He blinked, and it was gone. Maybe it wasn't real, or maybe he wasn't alone out there. Time didn't make sense anymore. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like forever. His body started going numb. His voice got weaker. Help, he whispered, but it barely made a sound. He thought about calling again, just ending it, letting the gate move, letting it take his leg. But fear stopped him. Pure, animal fear. So he hung there, all night, until morning. The sun slowly came up, light breaking through the trees. Birds started chirping, like nothing ever happened. Inside the house, his wife, Megan, woke up. She stretched, walked to the window, and looked outside. At first, she didn't understand what she was seeing. A shape, near the gate, something, hanging. She stepped closer, her eyes widened. Her hand flew to her mouth. Oh my God, it was Ethan. She ran outside, screaming his name. Ethan. He He barely responded. His head dropped slightly, still alive, but just barely. She reached for the gate remote, then froze. She saw his leg, the spike, the blood. Her hands started shaking. She dropped the remote and pulled out her phone. 911. What's your emergency? My husband. He's stuck. He's bleeding. Please, just hurry. Minutes later, sirens broke the silence of the woods. Firefighters arrived. Among them was my dad. He told me this part himself. He said it was one of the worst things he'd ever seen. They couldn't just pull him off. That would make it worse, so they brought in tools. Heavy ones. And right there at his own gate, they had to cut the spike, piece by piece, carefully, slowly. Ethan didn't even scream anymore. He didn't have the strength. Finally, after what felt like forever, they got him down. Barely alive, but alive. They rushed him to the hospital. He survived, but he never walked the same again. And here's the thing. After that night, he had the entire gate replaced, removed the spikes, installed cameras, lights, security, everything. But he still moved away within a year because he said, even after all that, he couldn't forget one thing. That moment, in the middle of the night, when he thought something was watching him from the trees. And to this day, he still doesn't know if it was just the pain or if something really was out there. It was a long time ago. Back before smartphones, before texting, before everything was instant. We had pagers. Yeah, those little plastic boxes clipped to your belt. They'd buzz, you'd check the number, then hunt down a payphone like your life depended on it. And sometimes it really did. Back then, I was working as an on-call audio technician. Name's Ethan Cole. I handled emergency setups, broken systems, late-night fixes, you name it. My pager? Man, that thing never shut up. But there was one rule everybody knew. If you added 911 after your number, that meant drop everything. No excuses. No delays. You call back immediately. Now here's the thing. In all my years doing that job, I almost never got a 911. Until that day. It was a hot Florida afternoon. Sticky air. Sun blazing like it had a personal problem with me. I was driving down Interstate 4, heading from Orlando to St. Petersburg. Just me, the road, and the hum of tires on asphalt. Then suddenly, my pager went off. I glanced down, annoyed already. But then I saw it, a number I didn't recognize, and right after it, at 911, my stomach dropped. That wasn't normal, not even close. All right, I muttered, gripping the wheel tighter. Relax. Just find a phone. I took the next exit. Some random stop near a nowhere town, Plant City, the kind of place you don't remember and don't really want to stay in. There was this small, dusty truck stop, flickering sign, half-dead neon lights. Looked like time forgot it existed. I pulled in fast, jumped out. Inside, it was quiet, too quiet. Just an old ceiling fan spinning slow. Click, click, click. Behind the counter, there was a girl. Early 20s, maybe. Didn't even look up when I walked in. Hey, I said, trying to sound normal. Can I get some change? She slid a few quarters across without saying a word. Didn't smile. Didn't blink. Just stared. That should have been my first warning. I turned and walked toward the payphones. There were 4 of them lined up against the wall. Old. Scratched up, like they'd been there forever. I picked one. Dropped in a quarter. Dialed the number from my pager. It rang. Once, twice, 3 times. I frowns. Come on, pick up. It kept ringing, and ringing, and ringing. Now I was getting irritated. Who the hell sends a 911 and doesn't answer? I muttered. That's when I heard it. Another ringing sound. At first, I thought it was just an echo. But then, I slowly pulled the receiver away from my ear. The ringing didn't stop. It was still going. Louder now, clearer. Not from the phone I was holding, but from somewhere else. I turned my head, slowly. 2 phones down. Another payphone was ringing. I just stood there, frozen. Same rhythm, same timing, same exact ring. My chest tightened. No, that's not right. I hung up my phone. Instantly. The ringing stopped. Both phones. At the exact same time. Silence. For a moment, I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Didn't think. Then, slowly, I walked over to the other phone. Each step felt heavier than the last. I picked up the receiver. Cold. Too cold. I looked at the number printed above the keypad. Then I looked at my pager. Then back at the phone. Then back at the pager again. My hands started shaking. Because except for one thing, they were identical. Same number. Same digits. Same everything. Except the pager had 911. I felt the air leave my lungs. Like something had just punched straight through me. That's not possible, I whispered. I backed away slowly. My heart was racing now. Loud. Heavy. Violent. I turned and rushed back to the counter. Hey, did anyone use those phones? I asked. My voice sounded off, like it didn't belong to me. The girl looked at me. Blank expression. No, that's not possible, I said quickly. I just called. And one of them rang. You're the only one that's been here, she said. Flat. Cold. For the past hour. I stared at her, trying to read something in her face. Anything. Nothing. That same empty look. I nodded slowly. All right. Thanks. I walked out. Faster this time. The sunlight hit me hard, but it didn't help. I still felt cold. I got in my truck, started the engine, and left. I didn't look back. Didn't want to know if those phones started ringing again. About 10 miles down the highway, traffic slowed, then stopped. Up ahead, there were flashing lights, smoke, debris. My stomach sank. I pulled over, stepped out, and what I saw, I'll never forget. It looked like a war zone. 4 cars, completely destroyed. Twisted metal everywhere. Glass covering the road like ice. A massive tractor trailer sat sideways across the highway. Its cargo, steel beams, had broken loose. They'd crushed everything in their path. People were screaming. Others weren't moving at all. State troopers had just arrived. Paramedics running, shouting. Chaos everywhere. I stood there, frozen again, but this time, I knew exactly what I was looking at. Time. Or more specifically, what happens when you run out of it. If I hadn't stopped, if I hadn't pulled into that truck stop, if I hadn't made that call, I would have been right there, in that pile, maybe under those beams, maybe not breathing at all. I helped where I could. But truth is, most of it was already over. The drive home after that. I don't remember much. Just one thing. Every now and then, I'd glance down at my pager, hoping, and at the same time, terrified, that it would buzz again. It never did. I quit that job not long after. Got rid of the pager. Changed everything. But sometimes, late at night, when everything's quiet, I still think about that phone and that number. Because here's the part that still messes with me. If that call came from that payphone, then who paged me? And more importantly, who was trying to keep me alive? Or worse, what end?